and thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Hackler. Today we're taking a closer look at creating a more accessible world for people with disabilities. As baby boomers continue to age and become less mobile, the need for greater accessibility is growing. Many cities are working on it, including Brooklyn Park. Brenda Bouse has been in a wheelchair almost her entire life. She's been navigating the sidewalks in the Northwest Metro for decades and says the majority of them have issues.
They're awful bumpy. The cutouts are not grounded down right. The stop and go lights, the red, green, yellow. The push and go light, that needs to be in a reachable, friendly spot. And the sidewalks just need to be evened out.
The Americans with Disabilities Act was established in 1990. Cities had until 1992 to comply before it would start being enforced. However, advocates for the law say compliance isn't something that typically happens.
There's nobody out there actually checking, no administrative body checking to see if cities have their ADA transition plans in place.
The Minnesota Council on Disabilities works to serve people with disabilities. The organization educates businesses and cities on what the laws are and shares resources and tools with them on how they can be more accommodating.
I know there's some drive to do this now, given some potential funding not happening if you don't have a transition plan, which, you know, it's unfortunate that that's what it took to motivate cities 28 years after the fact, but I'll take it.
The funding that the cities are at risk of losing comes from federal transportation funds and is distributed by the state. Cities like Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center put plans in place so they won't lose out on the money, which is used for road projects, trails, and bridge repairs.
Priority areas for us would include hospitals, schools, government buildings, that type of things. Anything where there's going to be a lot of foot traffic or public meeting spaces.
Wait.
Another focus of the plan is street crossings and sidewalks. Now, this street crossing is considered ADA compliant because it tells you when you're able to cross the street. However, this one is not compliant because the button only beeps. It doesn't tell you out loud how long you have to cross the intersection. Now, updating areas like this all across the city is going to take a long time.
The hope is that it's less than 30 years, obviously, but it's a large city. When we did the original data collection, there was just under 2,000 ramps in the city, so $3,500, $4,000 per ramp. It's a large fiscal undertaking to do a project of that nature, so spread it out over 30 years is what we're shooting for.
The timing frustrates people with disabilities who just want a safe way to get from point A to point B.
When you get on one end of the sidewalk, doesn't mean that when you get to the other end, it's going to be the same cutoff. You might have to go back and unfortunately go in the street.
But advocates say these changes are beneficial to everyone.
So these are things that end up really just benefiting everybody in society. And I think that's a more important message